Welcome to Cinema Bites, your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes. The movie begins in New York in 1876 with a guy named Leo who attends the opening of the Roebling Bridge, which is something very new for that era. He says that this bridge will last for many years. At that time, all the girls at the opening are focused on Leo because he is single, and each one of them hopes to win him over so she can live like a princess with him in his palace. Then, Leo notices the presence of a stranger from that era named Stuart. Stuart really does look different from the men of that time. Leo tries to talk to this person, but he disappears in an instant without a trace. Leo returns to his uncle, Duke Malarty's palace. Today is the day when Leo is supposed to choose the girl he will marry. Duke Malarty tells him that he must marry a girl from a very wealthy family to help his family progress, and that he must forget about the inventions he talks about all the time, because he was born rich and doesn't need to be like other inventors and start from scratch. But Leo wants to invent, because in the future, buildings will be very tall and it will be hard for people to climb all those floors on foot. As usual, his project is mocked, especially since he comes from a royal family and is supposed to live a luxurious life. Afterwards, Leo goes down to the palace and chooses to dance with a princess from a royal family named Tree. While dancing with her, he sees Stuart again and decides to talk to him to find out who he is and why he is here. He goes to Stuart and finds him in his office. Leo tries to talk to him, but Stuart escapes quickly. Leo follows him until they reach the Brooklyn Bridge, where Stuart jumps off the bridge. Leo catches up to him at the last moment and tries to save him, but ends up falling into the river with him. In the present, Stuart arrives home with Duke Leo, who is completely unconscious. He tries to hide him before anyone sees him. At that moment, Stuart's ex-girlfriend, Kate, sees them. She thinks Stuart has a woman in the house, so she calls him and tells him she forgot her notebook at his place. He tells her he'll return it the next day. He starts telling her that he managed to travel through time to 1876 and met a duke from a royal family there, but of course she doesn't believe him and thinks he's gone crazy. The next day, Leo wakes up terrified because he doesn't know how he got there. He thinks he's still in 1876, but Stuart calms him down and explains that he has traveled through time. Since Leo is a scientist and a genius, he easily believes him and takes the papers with the theory written on them to figure out how to return to the past. Meanwhile, Stuart takes his dog for a walk, and when he gets in the elevator, it disappears, causing Stuart to fall to the ground. The dog returns home again just as Kate arrives to collect the rest of her things from the apartment. She tells Leo to take the dog for a walk, so he takes the dog down the stairs because all the elevators in the world have disappeared. Since Leo is actually the inventor of the elevator, and his trip to the future changed a lot of things in the past, including the disappearance of the elevator. Out in the street, Leo is amazed by everything around him and can't believe the progress the world has made. But everyone on the street is surprised by Leo's clothes and think he's an actor in a play. Leo then sees the Roebling Bridge and is very happy that the bridge has stood all these years. He then takes the dog for a walk, and a police officer gives him a ticket because of the dog. Meanwhile, Kate is at her office, meeting her boss JJ, who has liked her for a long time but can't confess his feelings to her. JJ tells her he wants to make a commercial next week and needs her help with it. Kate agrees because this is her chance for a promotion at work. She asks her assistant Darcy for her schedule to add her participation in the commercial. She then goes to JJ's office and learns that he wants to make a commercial for peanut butter. He shows her a number of models who could be in the ad, but she doesn't like any of them. JJ tells her she has only 1 week to find someone who could be the new face of the company, and if she succeeds and the commercial is a hit, she'll quickly be promoted and become the new manager of the company. At that time, an ambulance arrives to take Stuart to the hospital. In the hospital, he tries to tell the doctors that he has to leave right now to take care of Leo, and that he has found the time portal that lets him travel to the past. Of course, no one believes him, and the doctor accuses him of being mentally unstable and says he can't leave the hospital. Stuart calls Leo at home and tells him he must stay at the house until Stuart gets out of the hospital and returns home. At the end of the day, Kate's brother Charlie arrives and meets Leo. He thinks Leo is an actor like him, since Charlie is an actor who only gets small roles in commercials and films. Of course, he doesn't believe that Leo is from the past, but in the end, he enjoys his relationship with him. Meanwhile, Kate is still at work and is very happy about her promotion. Her assistant tells her that Stuart is in the hospital and wants to see her. Kate goes to the hospital to check on Stuart, who asks her to take care of Leo until he gets out. He also tells her that Leo is from the past and doesn't know anything about this era, so someone has to look after him. But of course, she doesn't believe him and tells him that Leo is an adult and can take care of himself without any help. At the end of the day at home, Kate has dinner with her brother and Leo. Leo is very polite and behaves with royal etiquette, eating with a fork and knife, and every time Kate gets up from the table, he does too. He tells her that in his palace, he was used to men standing up whenever a woman left the table as a sign of respect. The next day, Kate is exercising when she hears Leo shouting because he doesn't know how to use the toaster. She tells him he can ask her for help. At that moment, Kate focuses on his features and notices that he is actually very handsome. So she decides that he will be the new face of the company, and it would also be the reason for her to get promoted at her job. So Leo agrees to help her because he already likes her, especially since she's the first girl he sees after moving to the present. Anyway, Leo goes with her to work, and there he meets JJ, who is very impressed by Leo, whom he's never seen before. So he immediately agrees that he will do the advertisement, and after the ad, everyone present is very impressed, and JJ is very happy that Kat succeeded in her mission. So he invites her to dinner to talk about her promotion. At that moment, Leo notices that the boss likes Kat and that he invited her to dinner to confess his true feelings to her. Leo also likes her, but he can't confess his feelings because they're from two different times, and of course it's impossible for her to accept being with someone from another era. And anyway, he'll leave and return to his time in a week. Anyway, on Kat's way home, her bag gets stolen, so she runs after the thief, but she can't catch him. Then Leo takes a horse, puts her behind him, and chases the thief quickly until they reach a dead end. The thief returns the bag and runs away quickly to escape. Kat is very happy and is impressed by Leo, and she starts to believe that he really is from another time and not crazy as she thought. At the end of the day, Kat goes out to meet her boss JJ at a restaurant in the city. At that time, Charlie invites Leo to go out with his friends, and Leo agrees and goes with Charlie to the place where they'll hang out. There, Charlie sees his beloved Patrice. He really likes her, but is afraid to express his feelings because she might reject him. At that moment, Leo manages to attract everyone's attention with his sophisticated manners, and he talks to Patrice about historical things he witnessed himself. And Patrice is very interested in what he says because she's specialized in history and knows a lot about it. But Leo starts to notice that Charlie is jealous of him. So he decides to tell Patrice that Charlie likes her, and indeed, he manages to get her phone number. At the end of the day, on their way home, Leo gives him some advice to win her love and gives him the phone number so he can call her the next day and confess his feelings. Leo tells him that he noticed the jealousy in his eyes when they were together and reassures him that he would never think about Patrice because he actually likes someone else. Charlie realizes that Leo likes Kat, so he decides to help him confess his feelings to Kat. They go to the place where everyone is hanging out, and there, Leo tries to expose JJ several times because JJ is trying to lie to Kat to impress her, like when he says he speaks French very well. But when Leo tests him, he finds out he can't speak French. So Leo tells him, "You don't need to lie to impress anyone you like, and if you're honest with her from the start, she'll definitely fall in love with you." Then he leaves. Kat goes home very upset because Leo keeps interfering in her life, and now she's threatened with losing her promotion because of JJ's anger. The next day, Leo writes her a romantic letter apologizing for his behavior the previous night, but she doesn't see the letter. So Charlie puts the letter in her bag and leaves. Kat arrives at work and tries to talk to JJ to apologize, but he doesn't care at all. During the meeting, Kat notices the letter, reads it, and finds that Leo is very romantic and apologizes for what happened the night before, and he tells her that he likes her and wants to meet her that day, and the meeting will be at their house. She even says it's the most beautiful romantic letter she's ever read in her life, and she agrees to meet him at night. At that time, Charlie calls his beloved Patrice and invites her to go to the cinema at night, and she agrees. At the end of the day, Kat returns home and finds Charlie going to meet Patrice for their first date, and she gets ready to meet Leo as she promised. After she puts on a very elegant dress, she goes to Leo, who has prepared a romantic dinner and brought someone to play music for them both. Leo tells her that today, he was supposed to announce his engagement to a girl he doesn't love, but he was forced to marry her because his family's fortune was decreasing a lot, and he needed to merge with another rich family. Leo tells her that despite the difficulty of their relationship, he loves her very much and wants to spend his life with her. Kat also likes him a lot, so she decides to confess her feelings to him and tells him she's ready to do anything to be with him, despite her fear of love and relationships because of her bad past experiences. But she still decides to be with Leo. The next day, Leo and Kat go out for a walk and enjoy their time. On the way, they find his uncle Milordy's palace, and he tells her that this is the palace he used to live in, and he shows her his room in the palace, as well as the place where he hides the things he loves and doesn't want anyone to know about. Among these things is his mother's ring, which he was supposed to use to propose to the girl he loves. Afterwards, they both return home because they have another shoot the next day for the butter commercial. At the end of the night, Leo decides to propose to her, but she has already fallen asleep, so he carries her to her room and decides to postpone it to the next day. The next day, Leo goes to the shoot and, as usual, impresses everyone present. But as soon as he tastes the butter, he finds it tastes very bad, so he argues with them and says he can't continue with the ad because he doesn't want to deceive the people who will watch it. Kat tells him she has spent her whole life trying to pay off her debts, and this is her only chance to get a promotion at work and finally live comfortably. So Leo decides to help her because he loves her and returns to the hall to continue the ad again. They go home angry with each other, and each one stays in a separate apartment. At that time, in the hospital, the nurse decides to help Stuart because she's the only one who believes that he traveled through time. So she decides to help him escape from the hospital so he can finish what he started, because the present and the future now depend on Leo returning to his life again, and Stuart returns home. Leo is told that he must return through the same time portal today. Leo agrees. He thanks him for the time he spent here. He also apologizes for the problems his presence in this time caused. Stuart says that Leo will return on the same day he traveled through time, and everything that happened on that day will happen again. This means he will meet Stuart again, but this time he shouldn't follow him so that everything that happened before doesn't happen again. Leo says goodbye and leaves. At that moment, Kate gets promoted at work. She is very happy and sends a message to Leo to tell him she got promoted, that she loves him very much, and she wants to celebrate the promotion with him. At that time, Charlie arrives at Stuart's house and sees the photos Stuart took of Leo when Stuart traveled back to 1876. Charlie notices that his sister is in one of the photos, even though it was taken in the past. Stuart says it's the first time he noticed this picture, but now he understands everything happening around him, and that he must convince Kate to travel to the past to marry Leo, because all of this is a time loop to help Kate go back to the past. If she doesn't travel through time before midnight, everything will repeat again. At the end of the day, at night, Leo is in his palace. He sees Stuart, but this time he isn't surprised to see him in his own time. He continues dancing with Princess Tree once again, and he is supposed to announce his marriage to her at midnight. While Kate is at work, celebrating her promotion, they come looking for her to tell her what she must do. They tell her she must travel to the past quickly, and to convince her, they give her the photos showing her in the past so she will believe them. For the first time, Kate feels that Stuart really wasn't lying to her when he told her that Leo is from the past. When she sees the photo, she gets very nervous, not understanding how she could be in a photo with Leo, taken in the past. But she decides to take the risk and travel through time so she can reunite with her beloved Leo and live as a princess with him in his palace. Kate goes with them until they reach the Brooklyn Bridge, the bridge under which the time portal opens. Kate says goodbye to her brother and Stuart, then jumps from the bridge and falls into the time portal. She finds herself transported to the year 1876 and quickly goes to Duke Millardy's palace, which is where Leo lives. When she arrives, she finds that Leo is about to announce his marriage to Princess Tree, even though he doesn't love her, but is being forced to marry her. Kate steps out from among the guests and tells him that she loves him and wants him. He tells her he loves her very much and will marry her, and that he has been waiting for her to arrive so he could confess his love. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos.